Alright guys, here is the green, blue, white mill deck I was talking about. I'm going to start off by showing you the land base we're going to be using. I've got the 4 Glacial Fortress in here. We've got 3 Hinterland Harbor. I'd actually have a 4th one in here, but I actually don't have it right now. So I just went ahead and went with the 3 that I got. We've got 4 of the Seachrome Coast. I've got 4 Evolving Wilds to go fetch those basic lands out that'll activate my come into play tap lands. Over here we've got the 5 Forest. It technically only be 4 Forest, plus that would be the Hinterland Harbor. Since we don't have it, I just went ahead with another green to make sure that we're going to be safe on casting our fog effects. Now we've got 2 islands, and then we've got 2 Reliquary Towers. And I've got the Reliquary Towers in here because sometimes with the drawing that this deck can generate, you're going to end up with more than 7 cards, and you don't really want to be discarding anything because there's a lot of useful interactions in this deck. This is our main kill card in here, Jace, the Memory Adept. I usually don't play him until it's pretty safe to put him out. I can usually back him up with the fog effect, and once he's out on the board, it's going to take an average of about 3 to 4 turns to kill your opponent, because by that point they should be milled down pretty good. I've got 2 Day of Judgments in here because it's always good to have a wrath effect, especially once you start running low on fogs. This is going to allow you to buy some time by completely wiping the board. And it's also going to get rid of threats that you really can't deal with well in this deck, which is Huntsmaster of the Falls and Hellrider. Both of those can do things that have nothing to do with combat damage. The only creature we got in the deck is the Augur of Bolas. He's mostly in here so you can make sure you can find all your fog effects or any of the other instants and sorceries in the deck. Usually you're looking for the fog effects. Now he rarely whiffs in this deck because you've got so many instants and sorceries that you can get, but occasionally you will hit like land planeswalker or land enchantment, but not very often. I think maybe I've only done it 1 or 2 times. I've got negates in here. Negate is in here mostly to take care of things that you're just not going to be able to fog, which are direct damage spells. Devil's Play can give you a lot of problems, and so can Bonfire of the Damned. This can take care of it. You need to make sure you use this sparingly and only use it when you need it. Next we've got our card drawing in here. We've got Thought Scour because both it's going to mill your opponent plus it's going to draw you a card. So this works out really well in this deck, and it only costs 1 blue, so you can use it when you need to find that extra fog, when you need to mill, when you need to find a land. It's just a really all-around useful card. Now this is your card drawing engine. This is the card that you really need to protect. Jace is only the 2nd most important card in this deck. This is your 1st. Without this, you're not going to generate enough fog effects to stay alive, and you're going to run out really quick. Now it can help your opponent ramp, but you have to remember they're only going to get 1 attack phase each turn, no matter how many cards they draw. So as long as you can keep at least 1 fog in your hand, you can negate that attack phase. Sometimes against the red-green decks, this really will speed them up into a Hellrider. So a lot of times I'll sideboard down to 1 of these and bring in some extra spells that'll help me out in that matchup. Next we got Trading Post. I've just now been trying this card out. It seems to be doing pretty good. It allows you to gain some life back late in the game, so if you run out of fog effects, you can kind of build a little buffer zone. The important thing is that it makes the 0/1 goat token, and that token can be used with one of the fog effects to make sure that you can fog, plus it'll act as a blocker as needed. Now I've got the Beast from Within here because there was a lot of stuff coming up that I just couldn't get killed, and this card allows me to take care of a lot faster than Oblivion Ring will. Oblivion Ring is a great all-around card, but at instant speed this works really well. Plus it's going to allow me to use my fog effects. Now we're going to move into our 12 different fog effects. We've got Fog, we've got Terrifying Presence, and we got Clinging Mist. Now Terrifying Presence can get you in trouble sometimes. That's why you got to make sure you got an Augur out, or you've got a token from this. But a lot of times against some of the decks that have a lot of mana dorks in them, this card is going to be able to target those without taking any damage. And sometimes you may end up just taking 1 damage if you have to use it on the spot. This Clinging Mist, if you're not playing against decks that have a lot of burn in them, Clinging Mist is going to be a really good card for you. You let your life get down as low as you can, as long as you can hit this fateful hour. So you got to be 5 life or less. Once you do that, this can be a time lock for you by tapping all your opponent's creatures for the next turn. As long as they don't get something out with haste, this has bought you an extra turn. So look at this as 2 fogs, but you got to make sure you set up the situation for it. Now let's check out the sideboard and see what we got. Sideboard, I've got 2 Elixirs of Immortality. This is going to come in against a lot of aggro decks where I'm going to need this 5 life back, but it can also come in if you play somebody playing a mill deck, which is not going to happen a lot because it's not a really popular deck right now. The casual players like it, but you're not going to see a lot in tournament play. I've got 2 Tomad's Crypts just in case we run up against something that's abusing its graveyard significantly, or maybe they've got their own Elixirs of Immortality. It helps out. I also bring in the extra Day of Judgment against the aggro decks. This is basically like bringing an extra fog, and this is what I'll probably put in over the Rites of Flourishing. Against a slower control deck that doesn't have a lot of threats, I'm going to side out a few of those fog effects, and I'm going to bring in this Mind Sculpt. Mind Sculptor will let you mill your opponent quite a bit faster, and it gives them something that they're going to have to burn a counterspell on. That way you don't have to worry about your Jace. Oblivion Ring, I'll probably cut a few of these as I work on the deck a little bit more, but this is just a catch-all card and I needed some more of them. But I'll probably end up taking out 2 of them and replacing them with an additional 2 Beasts from Within. And then the final card in the deck is Elder Scale Worm. There's quite a few decks that you're going to have trouble, which is like the red-green aggro deck, which I mentioned. If you can last long enough to get this guy out and then protect to make sure they can't burn him out with Devil's Play or Bonfire, this will help you go ahead and seal the win. That way they can't beat you out with Hell Riders or Huntsmaster. Hope you guys like the deck. We're going to try it out in a couple matches here. Let me know what you think.